Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round two of our League Cup that happened at Die Hard Games on March 29th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. League Challenge, April 24th at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Gardevoir. On the right, Gholdengo. Our Gholdengo player on the right is going first, starting off with Spiritomb in the active and a Buddy Buddy Poffin. That item allows them to search their deck for up to two basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench. I imagine it's going to be two Gimme Ghoul, depending on what's in hand, but our player is taking this first deck search to take a look and see what's prized. Of course, you start out the Pokemon trading card game by laying 6 face down prize cards, taking them as you take KOs, and the first to take all their prize cards wins, of course. So it is a known on the first deck search to kind of take a good look and see what the player has access to in the deck and what may or may not be prized. It looks like they are going to settle on the double gimme ghoul here off of this Buddy Buddy Poffin, which is good because you need those gimme ghoul in play to evolve into Gholdengo starting on the next turn. Because of course Pokemon must be in play for at least one turn in order to evolve. Normally, those are the fundamentals at least. Some other Pokemon may break those rules, but for now, getting double Gimme Ghoul out, the basic form of your main attacker, is great. Earthen Vessel is the next card to be played. That item has you discard a card from your hand in order to search your deck for two basic energy cards to put into your hand. Metal and Water will be the targets here off of the Earthen Vessel. Spiritomb in the active also has the Fettered and Misfortune ability, meaning opponents' Pokemon Basic V Pokemon have no abilities, shutting things off like that Lumineon V or Rotom V, as the Earthen Vessel is resolved. Energy added to the hand, attached to metal to the bench Gimme Ghoul, and then pass over to our left-hand side, our Gardevoir side, with Screamtail in the active spot, screaming on top of the cliff. Arvin is a supporter for turn, allowing the player to search their deck for an item and a tool. The combo Buddy Buddy Poffin and Technical Machine Evolution are cherry picked out of the deck with the Arvin here. Buddy Buddy Poffin is played, hitting, allowing double Ralts to hit the bench here. Energy attached to the active, as well as that Technical Machine Evolution that gives the Pokemon it's attached to access to the evolution attack. Target two of your bench Pokemon and then evolve them. Search your deck for the Pokemon they evolve directly into and evolve them. That's how you get double Curlia in play. As we see double Curlia evolve on the bench, the TM evolution will get discarded, of course, as part of its effect, and then play will resume over on the right-hand side, on Gholdengo's side. Can we get double Gholdengo into play and start drawing all the cards? That's what our player wants to do, at least. That's what I would want to do. They take a good look at their hand, assess the board, and try to better inform their next play of the pink card. Energy Search Pro, that A-Spec item card, allows the player to search their deck for one of every basic energy and put it into their hand. Shuffle the deck afterwards, of course. Let's see if the prizes were good to our player here. Did we prize any of our basic energy? Or do we have it in hand? Usually prizing one or two is okay because you want to get max value from this Energy Search Pro. Exchanging one card for 8, imagine that. All right, one of every energy, pretty good. 7 cards there for one, for the price of one. Energy Search Pro Resolve now is an Ultra Ball. That item card has the player discard 2 cards from their hand, so they can search their deck for a Pokemon, basic or evolution, and add it to their hand. Double basic energy discarded here off the Ultra Ball. That's okay, we can recover it later to search for that Radiant Greninja. Radiant Greninja gets added to the hand. We're probably going to see it hit the board here soon. And it's got a great ability and attack. Mostly in this deck, it'd be using its ability, but you never know. Radiant Greninja gets put on the bench and uses its concealed cards ability to discard an energy and draw 2 cards from the top of the deck. We're searching for that Gholdengo. Next is Pokegear 3.0, looking at the top 7 cards of the deck. Supporter can be added to the hand in those 7 cards, and we find that Cypher Maniac's code breaking. Okay, that supporter card may be played here pretty soon. And right now, actually, that supporter has the player search for 2 cards, get 2 cards from their deck, shuffle the deck, and then put those 2 cards on top in any order, legally stacking the deck. You could do anything in the Pokemon trading card game, right? 2 cards selected. I didn't see what they were. Does the player have a way to draw into them? Currently, they don't, but I'm sure they've got a plan. They could just be setting up for next turn. Boss's Orders and Superior Energy Retrieval were the cards. Energy attached to the active Spirit Tomb so that we can retreat into the Gimmighoul with the energy. It evolves into Gholdengo, not EX. And while that player reads that card, that Gholdengo has the Strike It Rich attack for a Metal Energy 30 plus. If this Pokemon evolved from Gimmighoul during this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So it's swinging for the full extra damage here since it just evolved. 120, and that's enough to KO the opposing Screamtail for the first prize. Curly advances to the active spot on the left and play resumes there. How will Gardevoir respond? First, we're going to see some cards. Curlia discards an energy card with its ability to draw 2 cards. Refinement. Of course, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Energy's good. Psychic energy is good in the Gardevoir, in the discard pile for Gardevoir, because the Gardevoir EX can accelerate psychic energy from there. Next is a Hisuian Heavy Ball. That item has the player look at their prize cards. They can switch the Heavy Ball with the basic Pokemon they find there. There are a few targets, 2 maybe relevant ones, as the Monkey Dory seems to switch places with the Hisuian Heavy Ball and the prize cards. They get shuffled and laid back out. Of course, Monkey Dory hits the bench. And next is Night Stretcher getting back a Pokemon from the discard pile. This time it gets put back onto the bench. That Screamtail does. Can't get rid of it that easily. Next is Iono as a supporter for turn. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. 5 and 6 here, 6 for our Gardevoir player. Lots more energy means they can be discarded. Oh, with the Earthen Vessel and Refinement. So our Gardevoir player analyzes the board, trying to inform their next decision as best they can. Just that. Earthen Vessel discarding a psychic energy, more psychic energy in the discard pile to be accelerated later, to pull a couple more out of the deck. Then Ultra Ball discards those 2 psychic energies to search the deck for a Pokemon. That Gardevoir EX League Stamp is found with the Ultra Ball. Plenty of psychic energy in the discard to be accelerated with Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace ability, but for every psychic energy accelerated this way, 2 damage counters is what the Pokemon takes that had the energy accelerated to it. Next is Buddy Buddy Poffin, finding a single Ralts this time, 70 HP or less basic Pokemon to add to the bench with that item. Just get more Ralts, more Gardevoir pieces in play, keep them streaming, and win the game is the plan for a Gardevoir player here. They use their second refinement, discarding another energy and drawing 2 more cards. That bench Curly evolves into Gardevoir EX. darkness energy attached to the Monkey Dory, activating its Adrenabrain ability. If it has a darkness energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So scary right now, as 2 psychic energy are accelerated from the discard pile with Psychic Embrace to the active Curlia. The active Curlia, remember, will take 2 damage counters per energy accelerated that way, so 4 damage counters on it now. It retreats into the Scream Tail. Monkey Dory now, since it has the darkness energy, uses Adrenabrain to move 3 of those damage counters, though, from the Curlia to the opponent's board to the bench Spiritomb, since it's got 60 HP. Pressure that. Psychic Embrace accelerates 2 more energy to the active Scream Tail. Scream Tail takes 40 damage, but that's okay because Scream Tail's attack Roaring Slam does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So 80, it's swinging for right now. Roaring Scream does to the bench Gimmighoul, knocking it out. And play resumes over on Gholdengo's side, with Baby Gholdengo in the active spot, only doing 30 right now. It is the metal type. The Gholdengo deck does play the Monkey Dory as well, so that can get involved potentially, as Arven is played over on Gholdengo's side on the right, allowing them to search for an item and a tool to put into their hand. So they look through their deck and try to formulate a good plan, the best plan to stay in this game. I think you want to find more Gimmighoul for sure here. So Buddy Poffin, if it's not in hand, and whatever other tool you can grab. Just depends on what's in the player's hand, though, too. What their strategy is and what's prized, of course. I won't try to take too many guesses here, so I'm just chilling, analyzing these games in the professor's lab today. Player finally settles on Nest Ball as the item for Arven. Nest Ball then finds that Monkey Dory, the Halloween spooky Monkey Dory we were talking about earlier. Nest Ball, of course, allows the player to search their deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on their bench. No HP thresholds with the Nest Ball here, as that Monkey Dory hits the bench instantly. So the Scream Tail only has 90 HP. It's got 40 on it because of the Psychic Embrace, meaning 50 left. The Gholdengo EX can only do 30 since it can't evolve anymore. But if we get the Monkey Dory involved with the damage on the Spiritomb, the Baby Gholdengo in the active can get there. Just need a Darkness Energy, and that's in hand. Gets attached to the bench Monkey Dory, activating Adrenabrain of their own. Night Stretcher now gets a resource from the discard pile back to the hand. It's a Pokemon this time. Pokemon or basic energy that item card could get. That Gimmighoul hits the bench. Monkey Dory then uses Adrenabrain to move 30 damage from the Spiritomb to the active Scream Tail, heavily damaged Scream Tail. Now the Gholdengo can use that Strike It Rich attack to clean up the KO. Pretty cool play there, as our Gardevoir player on the left tries to decide which Pokemon to promote into the active spot before they start their next turn. It's probably a Curlia. Yeah, it's only got 10 on it. You don't want the damage to stack too much, but remember you could do the accelerate and retreat move. All right, it'll be the Gardevoir EX going to the active spot. Play resumes over on its side. If they can establish double Monkey Dory here, then the Psychic Embrace damage means nothing. As Curlia uses Refinement to discard a card, draw 2 cards. Goodbye, Budu. We don't need you at this point. Maybe later, as Budu is super effective against Gholdengo in the late game. So our Gardevoir player takes a look at the discard pile, seeing how much psychic energy is there, what resources have been expended. Debating on playing this earthen vessel, it seems. Earthen Vessel discarding Bravery Charm to search the deck for up to 2 basic energy. Looks like there's just one more Psychic in deck. There is at least a Night Stretcher left in there, so one Psychic targeted there with the Earthen Vessel. Add it to the hand. We're debating on playing this Ultra Ball to establish another Curlia or find another attacker. It's probably another Curlia though, because the hand is slowing down dramatically now. Player just wants to make sure they get things shuffled up after the deck search. The previous deck search, of course, in order to continue this round 2. Monkey Dory put onto the bench from the hand. And then, okay, yeah, I didn't even see the Monkey Dory Darkness combo already in hand, excuse me. Um, as the Darkness energy gets attached to that freshly benched Monkey Dory. Triple Psychic Embrace to the active Gardevoir EX means 6 damage counters, but all those will move with double Adrenabrain. We're seeing the first Adrenabrain move 3 damage counters from the active to the bench Spiritomb, and going to just take the KO on the Spiritomb with the second Adrenabrain, clearing off all the damage from the Gardevoir EX, taking another prize, more resources to work with during this turn. Manaphy, it's useless, but it is Ultra Ball fodder. More Psychic in the discard is fine. And then you could just find another Pokemon to put onto the bench in and out of the deck and make the top decks that much sweeter. Depends on the route our player wants to go. They're going to actually choose to play conservatively, save the resources. Gardevoir EX uses its Miracle Force attack, 190 to KO the opposing Baby Gholdengo for a prize. And hope that was good. It was the heavy ball. So maybe the top deck's okay. As our player on the right, our Gholdengo player, decides what player to push, or what Pokemon to push into the active spot. I guess they're players, right? Depends on what's in hand for the move, and if they play switch, etc. As Gimmighoul moves into the active spot, and play resumes over on its side, starting with a Nest Ball, search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. A fine one is probably that Pheasantipede EX, since their opponent took a KO on their last turn. That does get established on the board with the Flip the Script ability. If the Pokemon did indeed take a KO on their last turn, Flip the Script will draw 3 cards. What do you guys think of Pheasantipede EX? Let me know in the comments. As our player eyes up their hand, he uses his Flip the Script to draw 3 cards. Looking for a Gholdengo and lots of energy to KO this opposing Gardevoir. Energy Surge Pro was already used, so it's got to be superior energy retrievals, and depending on how much energy's in the discard pile, maybe more ways to find more energy from the deck. No damage on their side, so Monkey Dory can't help too much, but superior energy retrieval is in hand, discarding Hisuian Heavy Ball and Boss's Orders to bring back up to 4 basic energy cards from the discard pile to the hand. Next is Radiant Greninja, discards one of those energy to draw 2 cards. Still hunting for the combo here. Buddy Poffin means if there's any more Gimmighoul in the deck, we can establish those. So that'll get played. There is at least one. There are a couple. Okay. So unless there's more support Pokemon you want down, then put the double Gimmighoul into play, because you need Gholdengo in play to play the game and play your Gholdengo deck, right? Gholdengo not only is a powerful attacker, it's a fine support Pokemon too, with its coin bonus ability drawing cards. Pokestop is put into play now. That stadium has you discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If any items are discarded this way, they get added to the hand. So kind of sad to see Gholdengo and Cypher go away, but we find an Ultra Ball. We can get Pokemon back with Night Stretcher too, if there's any more of those. Ultra Ball can find a Gholdengo. There is a Night Stretcher. Gholdengo, of course, has the, as we're seeing this Night Stretcher be played to bring back the Gholdengo from the discard pile. It gets evolved. The Gholdengo EX, of course, gets evolved in the active spot, and it has the coin bonus ability. Draw two cards if you're in the active spot. If you're on the bench, draw one with that ability. And then it has the Make It Rain attack 50 times for one energy, one metal energy attachment, 50 times the amount of basic energy you discard from your hand. So technically, no damage cap, so it can KO the Gardevoir EX. They just got to get the combo and all the right cards, all the energy in hand are ways to find it. Ability used, so Gholdengo EX in the active draws two cards with its coin bonus ability. Were they the lucky two cards, though? As our player eyes up their discard pile, getting a energy count. Looks like there's like two energy in there. Need 8 energy total in hand to get the one shot on the opposing Gardevoir. So double, nope, just 2 energy in the discard. So even double energy retrieval wouldn't work. Superior. That's what that Energy Search Pro is for. A big swing when you need it, but it had to be played early on. You got to do what you got to do. Let's see how our player navigates this, attaching a metal to the active, signifying an attack. Boss's orders, okay. Brings up a Curlia from the bench into the active spot. Curlia has damage, but more importantly is weak to metal. So just a single energy discarded will get the KO on the opposing Curlia with Make It Rain. And there is that in hand. If you can't KO the Gardevoir, at least take out a Curlia that can turn into a Gardevoir and draw more cards, right? Palpad shuffles back into the deck a couple supporters, Boss's Orders, and Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking for future use. Again, no damage on Gholdengo's side, so no Adrenabrain shenanigans. Anything else to do but attack, making it rain on this Curlia. Nope, there it is. Curlia KO'd. Gardevoir EX moves into the active spot, and play will resume on its side. On the left-hand side. Pretty good game we're having here as our Gardevoir player looks at their hand, trying to figure out the next play of this Ultra Ball, discarding Manaphy and Psychic Energy to the discard pile. Search the deck for a Pokemon. It is another Curlia, so we can keep the Gardevoir evolution chain going that our player has been successful of here in this game. That's what the Gardevoir player needs, or the Gardevoir deck, excuse me, needs to do to succeed. With Double Monkey in play, it's near perfect board state as Curlia evolves on the bench. Refinement will discard that he's doing heavy ball now, drawing two cards. And Arvin, the supporter, is found, allowing the player to search their deck for an item and a tool. Three prizes to three prizes here. Arvin is a supporter. Maybe it can be it seems like it's got to be a Screamtail or a Balloon attacking this turn. As Arvin finds a Night Stretcher and Bravery Charm. The Drifloon, of course, can reach big numbers, KOing big active Pokemon with the Bravery Charm. The Screamtail can do the same, also at the bench. It can't hit as high, but can hit the bench as a Pokestop is used now. discarding the top three cards of the deck. None of them are items, so they just stay in the discard pile. Our player sorts things out, seeing what Pokemon's there and what energy, plenty of energy, plus the Scream Tail, plus the Gardevoir Retreat. So our player's doing the complex math in their head. Next, playing Night Stretcher to bring back that Scream Tail from the discard to the hand. It gets put onto the bench. KOing Pheasantipity was pretty good here. So the Bravery Charm has to get involved if they want to do that, and that's what they're debating here. Bravery Charm gives plus 50 HP, so the Scream Tail will have more HP, so that way it can do more damage with this Roaring Scream. You can't put more than 4 normally, 4 energy on it normally, since it has 90 HP, since you take 2 damage counters for each energy accelerated, remember. Anyways, Gardevoir EX retreats into that Scream Tail. Bravery Charm gets attached to it, so now it's 9, 14, 140 damage. So we could put up to 6 energy on it, up to 12 damage counters, meaning 240 damage that Scream Tail could do anywhere, potentially. Pheasantipity has 210 HP, so we're going to see the full 6 get accelerated there with Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace. 12 damage counters go on to that Scream Tail, putting it at risk of being KO'd with a Lost Vacuum on the opponent's next turn, but you gotta do what you gotta do and force them to have it, right? As they bench a Flutter Mane onto the board and then use Roaring Scream. Remember that does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon. There's 12, so 240 dealt to that Pheasantipity EX, KOing it, taking 2 prize cards, and shutting off the opponent's option for a flip the script next turn. As they start their turn on the right-hand side, can they find the combo of Lost Vacuum, KO Gardevoir EX, take the game this turn? That player's definitely going to try as I see that Lost Vacuum in hand. Then they would just need boss's orders and a ton of energy in hand. So start off with Radiant Greninja, discard an energy card, draw 2 cards with concealed cards. Are you going to miss Radiant Greninja? Let me know in the comments. Of course, we lose it to rotation, is what I'm talking about. If you don't know what rotation is, just ask in the comments, and you know someone will respond. As Gholdengo EX in the active uses coin bonus to draw 2 cards. Filling up the hand here. So we're going to go with this Lost Vacuum and check out what Flutter Mane does. Of course, it's Midnight Fluttering. I think that's what it's called, ability. When Flutter Mane's in the active spot, says the opponent's active has no abilities. I think that's about it. Decent attack too, but either way, Lost Vacuum sends a card to the Lost Zone in order to send this Bravery Charm to the Lost Zone, meaning the Scream Tail goes back to 90 HP. When there's 12 damage counters on it, guess what? It's knocked out mid-turn. The opponent takes a prize, or excuse me, the Gholdengo player takes a prize, and the opponent Gardevoir player tries to figure out what Pokemon to promote. You probably promote a 1-prizer. Really valuing that Fluttermane over the Curlia is interesting. Yeah, with 1 prize card left for the Gardevoir player, yeah, I probably would have put the Fluttermane up, but maybe they know something I don't. If you guys do, let me know in the comments. Looks like time was called and we're on turn 1, but we should see this game resolve, or excuse me, turn 0. The Gholdengo player's turn 0. We should see it resolve before those turns are up. Our Gholdengo player eyes up their hand, trying to decide the best new or the best next play. Ultra Ball. Let's establish more Gholdengo EX probably. Ultra Ball, of course, you have to discard two cards from hand to use to search the deck for any Pokemon, basic or evolution. Get rid of the TM evolution. We're not going to use that anymore. And then the second card's pretty tough for our player in that Cypher Maniacs, code breaking. Searching the deck for a second Gholdengo EX that evolves on the bench. And then Roxanne, the first recent comeback card. You can only play that supporter card if your opponent has three or fewer cards remaining. Both players shuffle their hands into the deck. The Roxanne player draws six from the top, and the opponent draws two. I think that's how it works. I haven't seen a Roxanne in a long time, obviously. Yeah, it looks like that is, as our players resolve this supporter here, evolving another Gholdengo on the bench. I've seen superior energy retrieval in hand. Coin bonus on the bench times two. You see this Gholdengo deck plays lots of cards, or can draw lots of cards. Looks like we're just getting one prize card this turn, but it's only at the cost of discarding one energy thanks to Curlia's metal weakness. So not the worst thing in the world. You get another prize card and you take away, yeah, the only draw on your opponent's board currently in that refinement lone Curlia there. So we see Make It Rain for the KO. Now the Gardevoir player is seeing what's in the discard to better inform this next decision of Fluttermane into the active. Yeah, I really wonder now about them. I guess it didn't matter what they pushed, right? Because we still went after the Curlia anyways. Anyways, Fluttermane in the active spot. Play over on Gardevoir. They can take one prize card, they win. Boss's orders is what they're looking for. That's all they need, one card. Three supporters, I believe, in hand, but none of them deboss. The something like Iron Bundle wouldn't work here since there's three gimme or Gholdengo in play. A counter catcher is not live since both players have one prize card remaining. So our Gardevoir player is going to look through the discard pile, try to download as much info as they can to hopefully better inform their next decision. Yeah, I really think the more I think about it, the more I think this Fluttermane should have been pushed to the active that last turn, so that way your only draw wasn't taken out. I don't know if the Gardevoir deck plays boss or not. I can't remember if I saw one. Um, if they do, it's usually low counts, but still, you would have the Curlia to try to draw it. Either way, Psychic Embrace accelerates an energy to the active Fluttermane. Two damage counters will be taken as the effect of that powerful ability. That does survive rotation. Our player looking for other cards in the opponent's discard that they didn't see earlier. You hate to play this Iono because you put yourself down the one, and the opponent's got three Gholdengo in play that can draw cards. So they're debating on the Arvin potentially. I wonder how many cards are in the Gholdengo player's hand, because maybe you still try to go for the Iono. If you can't win, then you try to make it so your opponent can't win in time. So they're going to choose that route, it seems, playing an Iono. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards equal to the remaining prize cards. Both get one here, as the Roxanne was super effective. Okay, energy accelerated to the active again. It now retreats to the bench into this Monkey Dory. Energy accelerated onto the Monkey Dory from the discard of its Psychic Embrace. Adrenabrain being used now to move some damage from their side of the field to, doesn't matter too much, I don't think. I guess just put it on the active, chase the energy, either the Monkey Dory or the active. Kind of doesn't matter too much in this tough spot in this game. That they choose the active here. And we seen a Mind Bend. I think that's all they got, which is fair. You see Gardevoir can hang in there, make it tough for your opponent to close out the game. So Monkey Dory uses Mind Bend, 60 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon's now confused. If you guys don't know how confusion works, if a confused Pokemon wants to attack, they have to flip a coin. If heads, the attack goes through like normal. If tails, the attack does not happen, and the Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. But if you can get rid of that status condition, like moving to the bench or moving back to the active spot or removing it by evolving or other cards, then that's your way out, aside from flipping heads. Either way, 50-50 is a decent shot here in this round, too. Buddy Buddy Poffin being played now on the right-hand side. Mostly just to see what's in deck, I think. Shuffle up the deck after the Iono as well, if there were good cards that were put to the bottom, is fair. Now coin bonus in the active draws 2 cards. Looking for Professor Turo's, I guess could work, or basic switch if they play it. Either way, Radiant Greninja discards an energy to draw 2 cards with its concealed cards ability. Hunting for the right card to close this game out with. Aside from a coin flip, they also need the energy, I guess, to attack with. So Arvin is a supporter, and that finds the OG switch right there. They can find an item and a tool. Remember, just an item needed here. And I think our players just try not to mess up here. I think they've got it. As long as they have superior energy retrieval as they eye up the energy in the discard. Switch into the Monkey Dory, retreat. Whenever the Pokemon moves to the bench, its status condition is removed. So we just seen some shortcuts there. Switch to the Monkey Dory or Gholdengo EX, not confused anymore. Monkey Dory retreats into that Gholdengo EX. Superior energy retrieval discards 2 cards from hand in order to bring back up to 4 basic energy cards to the hand. Gholdengo EX is then swinging with 200 damage, make it rain, to take the last prize card of the game. What do you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this epic game. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.